Well, it has been a very active weather week here in central Illinois, which has brought on a few questions for our meteorologist, Jacob Dickey. We're hanging out in the weather center now. Okay, I feel like we got to jump right into these questions.
Yeah.
Because we've got quite a few. So the first one, we had some nasty storms come through our area Monday night. Was it a derecho?
Yeah, after last year, everyone always wants to know, is it a derecho?
Yeah.
And there were some pretty intense storms. I don't know if you...
There were. I'm not going to lie to you. I was concerned about you in the little weather vehicle out there and about when I saw your windshield wipers like going kind of slow. I was like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. And then they started going super fast. I'm like, get your booty home. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, we're out there because we're wanting to let people know about the wind. And so we sent me to the west and catch those storms early. And so the question we get a lot of times is, was it a derecho? You know, let's talk about what the definition of a derecho is. You remember last summer, the derecho that came on through, to be declared a derecho. An intense line of storms coming on through. We've got to have a wind damage swath over 240 miles. Wind gusts during that swath have to be measured at least 58 miles an hour. And typically you're going to measure 80 to 100 mile an hour wind gusts within that. We average one derecho per year. This storm across parts of Illinois would have been classified as a derecho, and that did impact some of us here. It was not a direct hit like last summer, but northern Illinois got really hammered. See that bowing feature? You know, formed here in Iowa and raced across I-80, I-88 before dissipating in Indiana there. Will we make that 240-mile technical criteria? We think so as well. When you look at the storm reports here, where's the map, right? They're all over. Each one of those an individual report of either damage, wind gusts, or something else with that. And here in central Illinois, of course, Peoria, Bloomington, Champaign, Danville seemed to be a quarter that got hit pretty hard. But we had damage in Decatur and in Springfield, parts of Ford, Livingston, Iroquois counties. Strongest wind gusts in our region. North of Peoria, there's a little orchard up there. They measured 105-mile-per-hour wind gusts at their property as that storm came on through. Had quite a bit of damage there. Maybe nothing as strong our area as 105 necessarily, but we had plenty of damage to go around. Other interesting thing is this is probably a historic event for the Chicago Metro. See how those blue lines in there? Those are areas that the National Weather Service is surveying for not only where there's wind damage widespread across the metro, but also potential tornado tracks up there. We're going to be really interested in the days and weeks ahead to see what their final numbers are, as there were likely a lot of embedded tornadoes within that. And so that's something that you know, this can take a while to figure out it all, but yes, we're going to classify that as a derecho.
Okay.
Say that word?
Hopefully that's our only one for the year.
Yeah, we average one per year. Okay. This one didn't hit us direct, but we still had some impacts from that. So.
Okay, up next, why did my cell phone go off for a severe thunderstorm warning?
Yeah, we had a number of folks that maybe got this alert. Did you see this alert on your TV screen here? It says severe thunderstorm warning in effect, destructive 80-mile-per-hour winds. It's part of wireless emergency alerts. You get the wireless emergency alerts for tornado warnings. Well, winds like this can cause big problems, as we learned last summer. And so your cell phone goes off. Wireless emergency alerts is a system that actually goes off for tornado warnings, flash flood emergencies. You get extreme wind warnings, blizzard and ice storm warnings that will go off, severe thunderstorm warnings, and then even dust storm warnings. We've had that as well. That's a service where a high impact event, it's an ability to reach multiple people. And you think about it too, Heather, is with this, a lot of folks might be driving on interstates. You're getting an alert for somewhere maybe you're not familiar with. So think of the dust storm warning. Semi-drivers, they're not from here.
Yeah.
When they enter an area with a dust storm warning, they're getting that notification. It's one of many great ways to get weather information.
Okay, we only have about 30 seconds.
Okay.
The siren sounded in my town, but we didn't have a tornado warning. Why did they do that?
Oh boy, we only have 30 seconds, so we'll make it quick here. The thing about sirens is, one thing you look at here is tornado sirens. Each town, county, agency has a different policy why they sound. It's just how it is. Each municipality is going to have something different. For many of them, it's 80-mile-per-hour winds, baseball, hail, or tornadoes. Some, though, it's for tornado only, sometimes even only confirmed. Others, they see a fluffy cloud. Sometimes they'll just sound the sirens for that. So I tease about that, but you see all these ways to get weather alerts. We often do not recommend that a storm siren is your primary way to get that. There's many other ways to do that, Heather, including NOAA Weather Radio, watching us on TV, weather call, your wireless emergency alerts, all of those different things.
Yeah.
I'll close real quick, Heather, and say that with those sirens going off, I like to tell people, if you hear the sirens, it just means find more information. Figure out why they're going off.
All right, very good. Keeping us informed in severe weather here. And if you want to ask Jacob a question, there's a look at how you can connect with him, and we'll be back here with him again next week.